don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. No, I will not bend. Gang time in it. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. No, I will not bend. Run it up, 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 run it up. You gotta put in that work, dog. I put the kings first. I know that you gotta wait for your turn sometimes to build something really sustainable. Work on your catalog, so the day that you finally pop off, you'll see it's not just a once off. You put in time, the harvest is ready, it's ripe.
DA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the home of the Ravens. Sold out M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, Kai just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 27. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And some room to maneuver. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded at the 20. "21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves. And
this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 41 yards. And the Ravens will strike first here, this wild card matchup. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Now Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. Quinn Miners, 3rd-round pick in 2021, called for the penalty. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. But just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Randy Gregory, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round, they told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. He's going to fire one deep over the middle.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front three, your front four, your front five, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And that play going absolutely nowhere. He's belted before he could get out of the back. Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Now it's Wilson. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And they'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 18. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 35 yards that time on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back in the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it, try and keep a defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half, because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big pickup of 38.
But they didn't ease into that drive right out of the turnover. They go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to greenlight that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done, because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On second down, this is Edmonds. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. The second down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This is a big play in this wild card matchup, facing 3rd and goal. To throw is Wilson. This is caught. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They wanted to throw for it. A surprise does not work on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Jackson now down around his goal line. It's complete to Cole. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. 97 yards. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On first down, Wilson. Screenplay set up for Williams. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise, and start to put together some drives.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give them 32 on the play.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit, and that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
Again, Wilson. On the screen, this is Edmonds. Touchdown! Chase Edmonds as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make our score 14-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So a turnover there on the kickoff. And don't look now, but that just made things a little more interesting.
Very interesting, because when you're trailing in a game, these are the mistakes that you pray for. You just went down and scored. Now you get the football right back with another great opportunity.
Now Wilson on first down. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Ravens will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. A big play there as time expires in the first half. And the Ravens would extend their lead here just before halftime. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered defensively. A disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be first and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward. Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why. And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl. And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now. Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Here's Wilson to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Patrick. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives them a first down. Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That's a nice play there. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet. You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. For the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. But their defense got them the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back. Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We got 2, we got 2. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Will we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go. There's Wilson. He's going to let this one go deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Ravens force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10. I guess we're at the point of the game where they do need to open up the playbook a little bit, start to take some chances down the field, but that one did not go as planned. Yeah, these guys need something good to go their way, and they took an opportunity to take that shot there, but obviously that's not going to help. A tough play for them as they're trying to make their way back. Baron Browning, the one who brought him down. The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it? Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Real estate's been pretty hard to navigate up the middle, hasn't it? Been real tough for them to run the football. Another example there, but when they try to bounce it outside, the numbers have been to the advantage defensively there, too. Yeah, once they took care of the middle, that allowed those linebackers and secondary guys to run to the ball on the perimeter. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard. And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them
get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Tim Patrick from 13 yards out. And the Broncos take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. McManus's point after is good, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He's got him in, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, get that water break and get on out there and play.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard. He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. This will be caught. Judy. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
And this shot downfield on 2nd down is brought in. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Jeudy, 49 yards. And the Broncos are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll go again with Dobbins. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 48 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't he? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally go to him because he creates big plays. But if you're a runner and you're playing with Lamar Jackson, aren't you happy? He creates so much concentration on him, it should open up things for you.
Down right around the 25. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round one here in the...
Second down and 8. On the counter now, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the fourth as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And now here is another interception. And he will bring this back. It's a pick-6 and a Raven touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jalen Armour-Davis. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get him next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme. Get a little bit more.
And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This now uses motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the fourth quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not from him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college. So sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good...
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Jalen Armour-Davis. And the Ravens are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. They go play action with Jackson. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. On second down, a run with Dobbins. Bulldozes past him, and he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They go play action now. Jackson. Oh, a good move at the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Dobbins will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And at this point, maybe you say, you know, it was a good effort really just to make the playoffs. They couldn't win their division, but did earn a wild card berth. It does appear, however, that their season is just a few minutes away from ending in one-and-done fashion. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Wilson. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Now it's Wilson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Got his man, it's Dulcich. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. From the gun, it's Wilson. And now here's another interception. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line.
87 yards rushing for him now as he has been a central figure in trying to get his guys to the second round. Another run here with Dobbins. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Well, one wing down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.